Hello my planner pals and welcome back. If you're new, hi, I am Di, this is Creative Karma Design, and today I'm sharing the process video for week 19 in my Project Life album. This is the week of the 5th to the 11th of May, and that means that we have Mother's Day in here. I decided that I was going to save some of the stuff from the January Stories by the Month kit. That's what this floral is from, and a few of the other little pieces. They're from the January kit. I think that is one of the biggest tips I can give you. If you're looking at the kit and you're like, I don't think I'm going to use that for this, I don't think blah, blah, blah. Well, just use it for a different month. I saved some of the January kit for Mother's Day, like this one, and I also have some of the stuff that was rainbow. I've saved that for Pride Week. So yeah, don't think that you have to use it in the month that they have the kit. You can just choose to use it whenever you want to use it. This is my color scheme. It's going to be the blue with the florals and the green. And the photos are, well, they're going to change, but let's just go through the photos. There is the cookie sheets, the cookies on a sheet. That is what I tried to do one day last week, and they were terrible. I think I confused teaspoon and tablespoons, which, you know, I'm prone to do. There's the photo of my tote full of stuff that I need to shred, and I've been doing this like on and off for about a month, shredding a bunch of paperwork. I literally today have an empty tub. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. So some of the other photos, you've got a laptop on the left that has got the week in the life Canva stuff on it, and I do have a video about that which I will put in the cards on the top right and in the description. I have a photo of all of the stuff that I have out on my front for collection. This is just donate stuff because, again, the decluttering that I've been doing over the past week or so, I just got a lot of stuff to give away. There's Start More Than You Can Finish, which was a book that I read. There is Stella, and she is just sitting in the car. The other photos that I have, there's one on the top right there of me. I'm actually in my bikini because we had like a heat wave. It was, I think, 96, something like that, 96, 98 or something. We had a couple of really hot days, and no offense, but I don't want to show my boobs on the internet. So I've covered that up with a little sticky note. And there is also the photo on the top right there of the albums that I got from Ali Edwards. I got the 6x8 and then 2 of the 10x8s from her in the Week in the Life sale. There's a photo of Stella there being a dalligator. That's what we call them when they're in the water. They're called dalligators. There's a photo of the book, the other book that I've read this week, which was Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. I love him. He just gives me so much energy and excitement to get things done. There is the front page of the New York Times, which is the new Pope. And I will say this, I did not do that on the day. I completely forgot about it. But I did a little internet search and found it online on the internet. So I'm happy that I did that and I have it because I really like to include some of the news highlights of the month. I did put, I think last week when the Pope passed away, and then this week we have the new Pope, Pope Leo. And then finally there is the photo of Cosmo on that bottom right, and he is actually asleep upside down on the sofa with his paws in the air, and his eyes are actually half open because he never wants to miss out on anything. So you can see me here, I'm just fussing around with the layout. I just can't make my mind up. I did get out some green cardstock to back some of the books and the newspaper headline thing because I just felt that they disappear otherwise. I do like doing this though. I like kind of having it like littler. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like the non photos, I like having them smaller. Yeah, I don't know. I think I need to play at some point with having smaller photos and just playing with that kind of stuff. So this is what I will say. If you're like not sure about sharing some of your stuff online, like me here with my bikini photo, just put a sticky note over it. And I have actually done that on the final product, the final, like the end product, if you like. I've put it in the pocket, and then the vellum flips up, but there's a sticky note underneath the vellum now. Like, I don't need to be showing that online. So yeah, and then I'm just looking at it here and I'm like, hey, what I could do is add this little flippy tag thing, but I have another one on that bottom left, and I'm trying to decide how I want it. Like, do I want it to be the flag end, or just do I want it to be the square end? I eventually decide on just putting the square end on, just so that I could take the sticky note off if I wanted to. And yeah, I think eventually, once I've done the flip through of this in July, because this will probably be a 6-month album, then I will take the sticky note off and I'll be good. And then you can see me here, I've got all of my journaling is actually on clear sticker paper. And I need another little piece to flip the other vellum up, the little like frame vellum. I used the end of the sticker paper. I was gonna find some washi and do all that thing. I'm like, no, let's just use some clear sticker paper. So I'm trying to have the floral designs away from each other, the foil away from each other, and then the green stripy things away from each other. Let me tell you, it was a challenge. So you can see me here, I've got the 2 foil frame vellums, and then I've got this quote card as well. So again, I'm just gonna fuss with everything, change things around, and then I end up just putting things back, and I end up putting that quote on that like blue floral on that bottom right. I'm a little happier with that, and then I realized that the 2 greens are together. It never ends. But yeah, it just seems like a constant struggle to get these to be like away from each other, and I'm gonna say like normal. And even then, like it's not great. Like those 2 greens are together, and I'm just like, just deal with it. So you can see me here, I'm going to attach the chipboard. This is a little chipboard floral on that striped cardstock, and I'm going to be using my tiny attacher. And this is where I noticed that my tiny attacher has a little bit of an issue. So these things are great, and I know Ruth and I have talked about this. These things are great, but they do have an issue if you're on the last couple of little staples. They don't like just having a couple of little staples left. So, you know, that's okay. We all have issues. We all have issues. So you can see me here, I've got the little word strips. So I'm just gonna put things on the photos, just trying to figure out what I want. Because again, there's a lot of quotes and things on these little word strips, but they're just weird. For lack of a better word, they're just weird. And I keep saying this every week, but I'm going to at some point create my own. Of ing words, of things that I need. I think what I'm going to do is look back at my album over the last, what are we, 4.5 months, almost 5 months, and even into last year's, and figure out what kind of phrases I use a lot. Never give up, good things take time. Lots of good I've noticed in some of my sayings, but all the ing words. So yeah, I think that's just something that I need to work on in a spare moment, is what I will say. So you can see me here, I'm putting little labels on the photos. This is something that I've done the past few weeks, and it just gives the photos a bit more context. I like doing it, and that will be something that I do continue to do. And again, I need to print and cut my own black boxes and just do that size. I love that size. It's about 1.5 inches wide by 1 inch tall. So yeah, I consider putting something on the photo of Stella there underneath that foil vellum, but I decide against it. So you can see me here, I'm just gonna add a little word strip to some of the photos, a little journal spot. And that's honestly, most of the time, is trying to figure out what words of the journal strips that I'm going to put on these little cards. So yeah, that's just, again, it's the little fussy putzing around details that take the time. And because I've put a little strip on all the other little border cards, I want another one for that one on the bottom right. So I'm just going to have to try and find little bits like that. Like, remember to play. That is something that comes up a lot, either for me or for the dogs. So the photo there of Stella I've got in the pond, then I'm going to put, again, another little like label and journal strips on there. But yeah, I'm just loving this project. And each week that I'm doing this, I have a little look back onto previous weeks. And it's interesting to see the pages that I've loved, the ones that are just like me. This one is a me. But yeah, the pages that I like a lot have a lot of color on them. And this has color, it just feels flat, which is funny because it was extremely hot this week and it was a good week to do like bright colors. But again, because I'd already planned to do like Mother's Day stuff on this, it just, like, you know, the florals, it just felt right. But yeah, I think what I need to stop doing is pre-planning and just go with how I feel that week. Like, okay, let's make a plan to use XYZ kit, and then if I want to use that, I can, but if I feel like I want to use something else, then that's okay too. But I really wanted to use the physical product that I had left over from this January kit. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did last week, which is using the stamped vellum numbers. And again, here you can see I'm going to have an issue with this tiny attacher because the staples just would not work because there's only a few little staples left, and for some reason it does not like it. I don't know whether they just flip up, they go the wrong way, it goes crazy. The thing has a mind of its own, but I eventually get it done and get the vellum attached. And I do end up, when I put this in the pocket, putting white cardstock underneath. I wish I'd have done that beforehand and attach that to the vellum. And you can see here, this is the close-up of all of the pockets. I'm loving this. I'm loving this project. It just makes me so happy. And then finally, everything gets put back into the album. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.